I got some bread dough going for tomorrow. So I'm gonna pre-shape this, come back and shape it, put it in the baskets here, and retard the fermentation and bake it in the morning. So anyway, I don't know if anybody cares about this kind of thing, but it's how I do it. I bake almost every single weekend. Sourdough yeast is what I'm using, and it's I derived it from raisins. So the yeast in this is more of a fruit-based yeast, which is the same strain that they use in commercial yeast. So it's a bit more predictable than, you know, there's like 5 different strains of yeast that are normally associated with flour or with wheat. Anyway, it's a little bit different. It works, and you still get you know, the sour part of it, and depending on how you time everything, basically you just end up with more flavor. The thing about baking bread is the longer the fermentation is, the more flavor there is. This is not coming out real well. I should have used a bowl scraper. There we go. All right. I don't know, this is probably something like, it's not real super high hydration. It's, you know, probably 78 or something like that. I'm just going to leave it like that and cut it, kind of try to cut it in half, because I'm making 2. So I got 955 grams of flour in this. I can't remember how much each one weighs, but anyway, I'm going to cut this in half. I'm not going to make 2 batards. It's all words I never say. You know, I read it. I read it, but I never actually say it to anybody. So I'm going to do a little pre-shaping. Pop that over and pull it back. It's kind of nice to have not too much flour, so you need to have a little bit of drag. You see how that's pulling. I'm going to let that sit for about 20 minutes. Whew. You can make sound effects if you want. I think it helps. Talk sweetly to it. It's like plants. Grow, damn it. Or, you know, I don't know. Anyway. Dough. This, you know, if anybody, this is so much fun. It's just amazing how this dough goes from flour to something like this. You know, I mean, that's like alive. It is alive because it's filled with yeast. Okay, so that's the pre-shape. I'm going to come back in 20 minutes and do the final shaping for the whatever you call this shape. Okay, we'll see you in a bit. And it's time for the final shaping. Put a little flour in here. I'm gonna flip these guys over. Yeah. Now let's see, how do I want to do that? Kind of want to, you know what? Let's just do it like that. To be honest with you, I do this a little different every single time. I mean, I just kind of play with it. And you know, the reality is that it's about stretches and folds. What you want to do is build the hoop tension. Let me get a little bit of flour in my hands. You want to, you're building gluten that goes around in a circle. That way that the thing stays upright. Yeah, and so you just drag it back. Now, that wasn't pretty, but it works. And put a little flour on there. And then I'm going to put it in the basket. So when I cook this tomorrow, or bake it, I'm going to put this side down. I'm going to do a little cross hatching here. Kind of join this together. And put a little flour on that. Alright, next one. Okay. Should try to do this a little bit more measured way. Put it into a rectangle like this. Go like this. Let me spin this around. Do you want to maybe pull it back a little bit more? Yeah, and over the top. Basically, the more you stretch, fold, you're building tension. And the more the more you're building hoop strength around this thing. So when it's sitting here, you know, it's gonna sit here for quite a while, and it's not gonna just go out onto the counter. That's the idea. I'm gonna put a little flour on top of that. These baskets I'm using, I've had them forever, so yeah, I don't have to worry about them much because they've got kind of a built-in non-stick. But when they're new, you want to use a little bit of mix of rice flour and flour. Rice flour doesn't absorb moisture, so I think, if I remember right, I haven't used it for years. Anyway, it doesn't stick as much. But these things are ribs, and when you try to bake it in the morning, to get it out of there, it's got to release. So, and the higher hydration this is, the harder it is to get it out of there. So we're going to go in here, and then I'm going to do a little cross linking here. Like I say, it's all about building hoop strength, hoop stress. A little flour on the bottom, and then it's going to go in the fridge. Gonna put a bag over the top. And uh-oh, egg over the bottom. If I can make that happen without any kind of an accident. Don't meet with an accident. There we go. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, I lost all my bags. So we're going to use these gallon bags. I'm going to put one this way and one the other way. So I don't know if I'm going to actually put this out in a video. I made some other bread stuff before I did this, and absolutely nobody watches it. I mean, my family doesn't watch it. My kids don't watch it. They just want to eat the bread. It kind of makes me a little sad, but yeah, nobody cares. But anyway, it's not exciting, I guess. All right, back to bread. So it's next morning. Got the oven heated up. I gotta put this in the oven and bake. See if that comes out of that basket. Gotta clean up the kitchen. I made a mess last night cooking. And I need the lamb. Oh. Got some water to spray. Yeah. Come on out of there. There we go. I'm just going to make one long cut. Or slash. I don't know what the right verbiage is. Pow. In the oven. Got it at 500 degrees. Get a little moisture in there. Close the door. Make sure it's shut. Okay. Set the timer for 20 minutes. Siri, set a timer for 20 minutes. All right, so I got 500 degrees. I'm going to cook it for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to drop the temperature down for another 20 some minutes. I'll probably drop it down to like 425 or something, a little ways, because that box and that stone kind of holds some heat. So we'll be back to see what it looks like when I take it out of the oven. That's it. Okay, the bread should be done. See what it looks like. Ooh. It's a little bit dark in color. Not bad though. I think that's fine. We'll see how the next one turns out. I'll probably adjust the temperature a little bit. Ooh. It's got a nice ear on it. Good. It's good.